Welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what I think's going to happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show from time to time because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. Could this be any more of a sleepy week again? Like, they really need to pick up the pace. This is crazy. Like week after week after week, it's a lot of this, but nothing really substantial. And you'll hear about it. Couple of disclaimers. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this may not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if I happen to not mention something in particular, it could be I plumb forgot, or it really just wasn't newsworthy, so I didn't bother mentioning it. And if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so kind if you hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. First, let me say Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, whether you're single mom, you're married, you have pets, whatever the case may be. I wish you all the best for today. I had brunch this morning. Hubby took me out for brunch. So it was a lovely day with myself, him, and the kids. Right now, this is my time, do what I love to do. Alrighty. So let's talk about the sleepy week, shall we? All right. First, we saw Nick. He and Sharon have come back from visiting Noah and Faith, and he took little Christian, the one that we never ever see, haven't seen the child in years, who's probably going to end up working at Newman before you know it. He is going to bypass that mailroom and he's going to have an executive seat. Watch and see. Anyway, that's a side note. So they came back and Nick had gone to the coffee house and met with Victoria. This really isn't that great of a news, but it's part of the show. It was at the beginning of the week. All right. So he met up with Victoria, and Victoria is like, oh, yeah, okay. I guess you and Sharon are, back together. Ha, 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 ha. And eventually Nick is like, you know what? We're not just back together. Like, we got married. And Victoria's mouth could have been on the floor. And she's like, what? Are you kidding? And Nicholas was like, yeah, Faith was our whatever, maid of honor. And Noah was my best man. And Christian, he whatever he said he did. And yeah. And so Victoria believes this hook, line, and sinker until Nick decides to make a funny and talk about, the guards and how they actually sang at the wedding, blah, blah, blah. Har, 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 har. All right. So Victoria basically is like, I can't believe I keep falling for these things from you, like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, look, I keep telling you, like, Sharon and I are good. We're friends. Like, leave it alone. Like, stop meddling in my business. Like, you get what you get. So she's like, well, if anything, at least it'd be better her than Phyllis. Okay. Once again, I'm not a big Nick and Sharon fan. Never have been, never will be. I can't say that. I like the two of them apart, just not together. They just seem kind of too wishy-washy. That's just me. Nick, I kind of like the fact that he's not with anybody right now, because when Nick is with somebody, he like falls hard so fast, and before you know it, he wants to put a ring on it. Cut it out, right? So just keep him like this for a while until like the right girl comes along, because if he goes back with Sharon, guarantee that's not gonna last. All right, so let's see what other madness went on. Okay, let's kind of jump right into the crazy called Mariah and Tessa with Daniel. And okay, let me see if I can control my frustration with Mariah. Mariah has been going on and on about something happened on her trip. She doesn't want Tessa to know about it. she is like horrified. We know that she drank and then drank some more. But up to now, this has been going on for days. We don't know what she did. To the point where Tessa confronts her and was like, you haven't been talking to me. You leave early. We don't read Aria a bedtime story anymore. Like you're just avoiding me, blah, blah, blah. Did something happen? Was it me? And I don't know. Tessa ended up talking about Ian. Now, I'm going to give a prediction because I was thinking about it and I'm like, this could have happened because Mariah was fessing up to something about Ian Ward and how whatever, she didn't realize that she was so needy back when she was with Ian in the cult, if you will. Okay, let me just dive right into my prediction. I feel as though, because remember, Ian's not dead. He's not dead. We haven't seen that dude for weeks, but we know that he's not dead. So maybe somehow he figured out, because following Mariah, that where she was. So then he went and somehow maybe got her back into the cult. I don't know. So my prediction is at some point in time, Mariah saw Ian. Just saying. The other possibility is, because apparently she is pregos in real life with her second child, the fact that maybe she dipsy doodled, and this is what I said, I believe last week, that she dipsy doodled on Tessa and, went with somebody else. And then lo and behold, she got pregnant. And I'm thinking, okay, hold up, wait a minute. How could she get pregnant so fast? How would she know so fast? Okay, maybe she cheated on Tessa, but no, I don't think so. And look, even somebody said maybe it's chance. Okay, I can't. It's not chance. I can almost guarantee you it's not chance, all right? They're just switching up, from Connor Floyd to, I can't remember the next guy's name, but switching him up. No, it's not chance. Okay. That I will bet the farm on. Okay, I don't have a farm, but I'll bet on it. All right, so again, either she met up with Ian, somehow Ian has masterminded and controlled her once again, letting her, believe that she needs him, or she dipsy doodled on Tessa. Now, this leaves room for Daniel and Tessa. I keep saying it. Look, if they don't get together, they're at least gonna get together. Okay. So I say this because Daniel's like bing 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 bing, and with the guitar, and Tessa's teaching him, telling him, okay, EAE or whatever, the notes, bling bling bling. And meanwhile, Tessa is already pseudo distraught over Mariah. Why? Because she had a conversation with Sharon, and Sharon had come to society, saw Tessa, and Sharon, if you couldn't look any more guilty, like you knew something and you didn't want to say, I mean, honestly. So clearly Tessa was like, what's going on? It seems like you know something, but you're avoiding me. Like what? So she's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just going to get my takeout. Okay, bye. Yeah, just so suspicious. So now Tessa again is down on the dumps because her mother-in-law ain't telling her jack. Her wife ain't telling her jack. So who does she have to lean on? Bring, Daniel. So much so that after she and Mariah had whatever, they weren't arguing, but words where Tessa was like, come on, tell me, what did I you? I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, after that, Tessa was winded because Mariah took off. And then somehow Daniel comes to the park because that's where she is. And I had to laugh. Daniel's talking about whatever, maybe he should have learned to play the harmonica and whatnot, whatnot. And then Tessa's like looking like, and here's where I laugh because Daniel turns and looks at her like, are you okay? And she does this. And it's like, wouldn't he be the one to like come here? No, she's like, okay. Like, was that supposed to happen? Just saying. I think it could have been maybe a little bit more dramatic than that, but to be more believable, but what do I know? All right. So, all we know at this point is Mariah has done something yet again. Like, we just don't know. Okay. I don't want to talk about them, but we got to talk about them because, quite frankly, this took up a good portion of the week. Kyle, Claire, and Victor Newman, with a side plate of my guy Adam, Mr. Comic Relief. Okay, so as we already know, Kyle and Claire, they're in love. Whee! And now it's this whole thing about moving in together because Claire has agreed to move in with Kyle. However, they decided that, go figure, Adam is selling his old place because he's moved into Victor's old place. Anyway, so he's got his place up on the market. Listen, this is a whole piece of craziness. Okay, so Claire and Kyle ask Adam to meet up with them. So that they're at the club. And he's like, what the hell are you? Like, what do you want me for? And like, in case you didn't know, like, I'm really not the Star Newman child. Like, no. So they basically ask him, we want to see your place, kind of put an offer in, and nudge, nudge, because you're my uncle. Is it uncle? Yeah, uncle. Can we get a discount? I'm thinking, okay, you're a Newman. You came into like some big cash. So I'm sure your bank account went from 0 to 1 million, 1 billion, whatever, in like a hot flash. And then Kyle is an Abbott who they may not be at Newman's level, just underneath. So he got money. Why do you need a discount? Just saying. All right, so Adam's like, you want to get my place? Like, what? Yeah. And then he's like, so basically, you want me to poke the bear? I kind of like, I kind of like having my fingers. Oh, so Claire, she just, Claire, enough of this whole, you want to please your granddaddy. Like, enough. Like Kyle said to you, you're grown. I mean, I get that you would prefer his love and appreciation for your relationship, blah, 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 his blessing. But I am never going to be liked by him because I'm an Abbott. It is what it is. Like, I'm the nemesis. So why are you like trying so hard to vie for his affection, his approval of our relationship? Like, it's never going to happen. She's like, well, I remember when Jordan was researching and I was researching the Newmans, I realized that Grandpa was an orphan, and yeah, I kind of felt that way too. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, but Claire, enough. So you got your grandmother involved, your mother is involved, all these people are involved. Then you took your little bright self and went and approached Victor. What are you thinking? He has already expressed his disdain for your relationship. So much so that he even tried to get Summer to go back with Kyle. What is that saying? So basically, he was using Summer like a little puppet just so that he wouldn't allow your relationship to flourish. Okay, Claire, why on God's green earth did you go to your grandfather? You don't need his approval. Kyle has already said this. If your mom is cool with it and your dad is cool with it, and by the way, Cole is still, he's allegedly, what is the word? He's isolating at the club. I don't even want to, no. So you guys just leave the guy up to his own devices. He looked like he was at death's door and that's where he is. Whatever. So back to Claire. You should only be interested in if your father and your mom. And even if they don't like it, you are grown. Cut it out. This is not going to end well. And so because of that craziness, because she went and told Victor that she wants to move in with Kyle and that they were going to put an offer on Adam's place, now you've just thrown Adam right under the bus. You have scraped him, skinned him alive. So Victor's like, this is not going to happen. No way, no how. Even poor Nikki was like, but. Victor takes off from the house. And Claire has this look of, oh my gosh, well, what did you think was going to happen? Listen. So then he ends up going straight over to Jabot while Jack and Kyle are having some sort of important business meeting. And he basically threatens Kyle, just try me. Just try me. So much so that Kyle himself was nervous as Victor Newman does not make idle threats. Did you see the anger? Did you see that? Eventually, after he goes to see Claire because Jack's like, look, go, get out of here. He's like, I have to see if she's okay. He basically was like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, but, my grandmother thinks that we should take it slow. Kyle's like, whoa. Wait a minute. This just happened? What's going on? Are you not wanting to be with me? What? No. She just thinks we should, calm it down. So basically not move in together and just kind of be, this very discreet. Oh, Kyle, you see? Oh, again, in my head, just go get married if that's the case. I mean, Victor will probably try and, do some annulment, but once you guys are married, he can't do jack. So it is what it is. And so Victor ended up going to see Adam in his office and was like, what's this I hear? That you were going to sell your place to Claire and Kyle? Not gonna happen. So he's like, wait a minute. I didn't know I needed your approval to sell my place. He's like, and why shouldn't I get something off of it? Make some money. And he's like, not gonna happen. Find a way to get out of that. Okay, Victor, you're just spreading sunshine everywhere, aren't you? Okay. Yeah, so that was that. But speaking of Adam and Chelsea, I guess Chelsea's first day as COO, which they didn't do anything. I never saw a laptop. I saw one photograph behind Adam, and that was it. And they were just talking, and it was this whole thing about messing around with Billy and his company. That once again, is it even in operation? Not yet. I don't know if it'll ever get off the ground. Just saying. He may have a logo, but that's about it. So yeah, because of course Victor wants to stick it to Billy, and yeah, but apparently he made some offer to Billy that would work in his favor. But Billy, of course, is like, he ain't falling for none of this, and he's there with Sally talking about the whole thing with Victor. By the way, Sally's blue leather type outfit, she just, no. Maybe it was the hairdo with it. I didn't like it. I liked the color. I just didn't like it. No. Phyllis's dress that she wore when she saw Daniel, the one with the stripes, that was on point. Fit her perfectly. Sally just kind of looked, yeah, no. Anyway, that was my whole fashion thing. Like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Sally and Billy are in this whole cahoots. Whatever gameplay Billy has, I don't know. Nobody knows. And of course, it all has to do with Aristotle Dumas. Which again, I don't care who it is at this point. This has been going on way too long. Are they still trying to cast him? I'm confused. What is taking so long? And everybody's, ooh, they're afraid of Aristotle because he's like a shark, just like Victor. Enough. Nobody cares. I think somebody said Aristotle was, I've heard Ian. That's not. Well, you know what? It could be, but I don't think it is. Because once again, whoever it is, trying to look up Lily and Devon. Makes no sense. Once again, we keep hearing about this guy, yet we've never seen him. We didn't even hear his voice. Nobody cares. Moving on to Lily and Damien. Okay, Lily, I'm going to say this again. You know you got the hots for this guy, so much so that you now offer him a job? Wait a minute. Hold up. Back it up. How are you gingerly offering this guy a job? And of course, Devon and his guest star appearances that he just crops up from time to time. And you didn't run it by him? I'm very confused. But yet you offer Damien a job. Now Nate, he kind of wants no part of this. Like, he's like, leave him where he is. Don't mess with my brother for your own whatever gain it is that you want. Like, stop. And of course Lily is like, well, what do you mean? And what? And Devon is like, I can't blame him. Because she's just all over the map. It's like a set of craziness, a set of weirdness. Lily, what's your story? What's your angle? You're so wanting to get to Aristotle for whatever reason, which you shouldn't care at this point. Oh, geez, man, because he's looking to our company. He ain't that important at this point. I think whoever is trying to get to Victor for whatever reason, they don't have you to study, which again begs, is it? What's his name? Devon's father. Tucker. Is it Tucker? Again, I say I would love for it to be Tucker because the guy is funny. But I'm still erring on Kane. And once again, Daniel Goddard is on uh, is it Days of Our Lives? Or is it General Hospital? I think it's General Hospital. And that would leave, you'd have to get a new cane. Again, could be a crossover. I don't know. Just saying. But other than that, I'm not going to hurt my head over it because it's been going on way too long. So again, we got Tessa taking up a good portion of the week. Sorry, not Tessa. Mariah taking up a good portion of the week of, I've done something, but I can't say. And I'm going to run off. Daniel with bring. Tessa and Daniel, like, enough. And now Phyllis is like, Daniel, yeah, why don't we start our own company and, like, blaze trails and we'll knock Billy right on his ass. Okay. Where's your startup? Where's the capital here? What are you doing? So Daniel basically like soothed her furrowed brow and was like, Mom, okay, if you come up with something, bring it to me. If it like wets my whistle, then I'll consider it. You're not joking with me? Is this for real? He's like, yes. Okay. You know what? Maybe it would be nice for them to work together. I don't know. But please, writers, can you give her something? Because she's just walking around aimlessly, and this is very tiresome. Again, I love Phyllis, but it's tiresome just watching her just roam around town with a purse hugged to her chest, and she's like in disbelief, despair, the whole 9 yards. Give her a purpose, please. She even said she wants to wake up with a purpose, something to do. So honor her request, please. Mine as well. Can we like get over the whole Kyle and Claire craziness and the fact that she is so determined to have her grandfather approve? See, she ain't concerned about nobody else, just Victor. What for? I don't know. And yeah, I think the last thing we'd talk about, which quite frankly, I kind of felt a little bit bad for her, but was the fact that Diane was talking to Jack. Jack, made her a nice breakfast, and so now Diane is reeling over the fact that Billy doesn't think that the place feels like home anymore, that she did whatever renovations and that it's kind of wiped his father off the scene. She's like, I just want to belong, Jack. He's like, well, yeah, that Diane was here. Do you want to leave your mark that Diane was here? That Diane Abbott was here. I don't just want to kind of be an afterthought. I want to belong. I want to fit in. I want to... So again, I felt somewhat bad for her. Diane, side note, you've done a lot of stuff that would warrant people to not care for you. However, I feel I will give you this. You have done your, paid your dues, if you will, and you have tried your best to become a part of the Abbott family. The problem with that, of course, is that you've done so many things in the past that it just kind of follows you. And a lot of people will have a hard time letting that go. I'm the girl that I will give you the benefit of the doubt until you go and do something real crazy, right? Then after that, I don't know. I give people 2 chances. They don't get the third because in my head, if you make one mistake, okay. You make it the second time, no problem. But when you start keeping doing it, that's a problem. So I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll give you some grace that you do look like you have changed. And let's hope that it stays that way. I do like you and Jack together. I do. Because you guys seem like a nice couple. But don't think that, everybody is going to appreciate what you've done, and just lay low, Diane, just lay low. And, eventually they will start to probably turn over a new leaf. All right? So, good job. Good job, Diane. So, I think that's about it. Once again, if I happen to not mention something, I plumb forgot. This whole week, once again, was a whole lot of this, and not a lot was actually going on. It was just smoke and mirrors, if you ask me. So if you stay to the end of the video, I am so grateful as usual. I love you lots, and I appreciate your support. Once again, if you like this type of content, you like what you hear, you like what you see, by all means, please hit that like and share and the bell notification, and also share. Why? Because sharing is caring. I will catch you on the next video. Take care. Bye. And happy Mother's Day. Bye.